Hey everybody, Mr. Movies 87 here, bringing you a new episode of Gaming Breakdown. And today we'll be talking about my all-time favorite RPG, and favorite game ever at that, Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete. We'll be going over the main cast of characters here, well, the main five being Hero, Ronfaure, Jean, Bila Mina, and Leo, and then also Gwynn, Ruby, and Lucio. They're side characters-ish, but they deserve some showtime as well, so I'll go over them too. First things first, main character, Hero, being the main character. He's really damn powerful and pretty much the best character in the game, really, because he gets, well, the most powerful attack in the game, but we'll go over more about that later. Hero is really good overall. He's going to be your tank for a good part of the game, having the second highest HP stat for a while, but then it'll eventually tie with Leo at level 99 there. Really solid defense stat, plenty of attack multipliers there, really good speed. He'll pretty much always go second after Jean. Unfortunately, though, he's a little bit on the magic side of things, but that's fine because his spells, while useful, yes, I don't use them that much myself anyway, but they're still good anyway. But yeah, his wisdom stat is not that great, so don't worry about that. But yeah, where Hero's main strength in battle is his speed for one thing, and also his arsenal of attacks. His main one, Post Sword, you learn very early on. You'll be using that approximately 812 times throughout the game. It's just that good. I mean, it takes only 6 MP, does solid damage. You'll use it on like every boss fight throughout the game, and also any tough enemies throughout the game as well that have a lot of HP that you can't normally kill with physical attacks easily enough there. So there's that. That was rather short, actually. I thought that'd be longer. Anyway, moving on to our next character, Ronfaure. He is our white mage of the game, and actually, in comparison to Jessica from Lunar 1. And that's what I should do, too, is make comparisons throughout each character here. Hero is pretty much Alex from Lunar 1, by the way. Ronfaure is pretty much the same as Jessica. They both use maces. They both use a healing magic there. But anyway, yeah, more so on Ronfaure here. Yeah, being your white mage and all that, yeah, he has access to all the healing spells in the game, really. Heal Litany, Calm Litany, Tranquil Litany. Yeah, a medley of reviving spells there. A little on the slow side, unfortunately. He's your second slowest character. Bila Mina is the slowest, by the way. But that can be worked around with some crest combos later on in the game. But he is paramount to your party survival. With one thing, yeah, with reviving spells there, they always go first, actually. Unless you have someone with the dual Giro crest combo, if I recall correctly, that lets you always go first. If that's the right combo. I forget the exact combo. But anyway, yeah, that always lets you go first there. But yeah, that can save your ass in many a boss fight there. And he also has a couple of attack spells as well with his dice there. Anger Dice, which deals a random amount of fire-based damage, which is useful early on, but mid to late game it's kind of overall. Destiny Dice is pretty good. Only takes 5 MP, damages all enemies if you're lucky. There's also Divine Litany in boss fights, which is HP regen on the entire party there, which is, can't say enough how useful that is. I mean, regen on the entire party is immensely useful, of course. Then also there's, let's see, there's Shining Litany, and then also the one before that, I forget what it's called, but it drains enemies' HP and then gives it back to Ronfaure, which is really good for just consistent damage, really. And also, Shining Litany absorbs enemies' HP from all enemies and gives it to your entire party, so that can be good for healing there as well. And the physical attacking side of Ronfaure is pretty good. Early on, his attack stat will be a little higher than Hero's, but unfortunately, he only has one attack multiplier throughout most of the game. He won't have a second one until level, like, 41 or something like that. It takes him a really long time to get that. But he really shouldn't be attacking all that much anyway, especially in boss fights, I will say, because he has healing to do, of course. But yeah, Ronfaure, tantamount to party survival, of course, being your party's white mage there. Moving on to our next main character, Jean. Jean is the speedy powerhouse of the game. Early on, she's as faster than Hero and just as strong as Hero, which is very good there. But her main strength is her various dances she has. To start, the only hits one target, but there's one they inflict sleep, paralyze, poison, and charm. The charm one I don't find as useful. I mainly prefer using like the sleep, paralyze, and poison ones. Those are immensely useful for crowd control, and also they deal pretty solid damage too. So with that, having her go first just to soften enemies up for Hero to kill afterwards works really, really well throughout the game. And then, of course, her spells are upgrade to the zone effect one. So, yeah, a first turn with Jean and paralyzing or poisoning most, or if not all enemies, that in itself is extremely useful there. Later on, she will turn into Karate Jean, and then she is like immensely better. Yeah, she has more attack multipliers than Hero. Each attack is a little bit weaker because her strength is a little bit lower than his, but it balances out because of the multipliers that she has there. And she also learns a bunch of really good karate-based moves. Blue Dragon Palm, which is great single target damage. Blue Dragon Kick, which is a really great line effect. There's Doppel Dance and Slam Dance there. Blue Dragon Fist. So yeah, she is extremely powerful the mid to late game there, especially combined with Lamina's power drive on her. She will be dealing crap tons of damage left and right easily. And also, her speed, especially early on, and also throughout the entire game, is useful in a pinch. Say you use an item to heal or revive somebody. With Jean going first, you'll pull that off before an enemy has a chance to attack you. So that alone can save your life in many a boss fight there. Next character being Bila Mina. She is the mage of the game. And I forgot again. Jean, as far as her attacks go, well, she's, in comparison to Nash, sort of. Mainly for their status spells, right? Because Nash had, like, stone and whatever stuff, I think, like that. And then you had Jean with status dances, too. So there's that. Bila Mina, of course, in comparison to Mia from Lunar 1, being the mage of the game. Fragile, of course, low HP, low defense, but very, very high wisdom, of course. She will be nuking enemies with her spells from the very back part of the screen there. She has access to the fire and ice elemental spells there. Of course, she starts out with a single target one, a zone, and an area, a whole, well, all targeting one. And then they'll, of course, upgrade to more powerful versions. And unfortunately, Bila Mina is the slowest character. Well, next to Leo, I should say. But there is a way around that with the aforementioned Cheer Crest combo there. Give that to her, and she will always go first. That is stupidly awesome in this game. Because she can just throw out an area effect spell or an all-targeting spell with the first turn, soften up enemies, no problem. And then Hero and Jean can run in for the easy kills, and boom, battles go by like that. I snapped, by the way. You probably didn't hear it, but there you go. And also it's useful, especially in boss fights too, having her go first. Just picture this. Hero has triple sword, Bila Mina has power drive, and then Jean has the Hero's Talisman there. So she uses that first for attack boost on the entire party. And then Bila Mina uses power drive on Hero for an attack boost before he uses triple sword. And yeah, each slash will do like well over 1,000 damage per hit. That will destroy bosses easily. Hero can almost, well, not really solo them, but he'll do the bulk of the work himself. And especially in the epilogue, I can't state enough how useful that is there. And the Bila Mina also has some other spells there. Magic Shield to boost magic defense there. There's also their Cryo Shield spell to raise defense there. Magic Seal and Mage Seal, which I personally never used. And then also her ultimate spell, Catastrophe, there is high elemental damage on all enemies. It takes a lot of MP though, but she has a lot of it to spare anyway, so that works well enough. But with that case, it always goes last whenever you normally use it, but if she has that with the Cheer Crest combo, it'll again go first. So you can use that to nuke all enemies and pretty much one-shot anything. So pretty much at the Epilogue Dungeons, what I would normally do is have her just use that, blaze through battles, and just give her Starlights, and she's good to go. Next character being Leo, another powerhouse here. He's pretty much like Hero, but slower and, well, more tankier. Yeah, a lot more HP than Hero. Attack multipliers, kind of the same as Ronfar, actually. He always has 2 throughout the entire game, which works well enough. There is a strength that's high enough to work around that anyway. But unfortunately, yeah, he is very, very slow and pretty crappy with magic. He does have some Earth Elemental spells, but I personally never use them because you can just give the Earth Crest to, say, Bila Mina, and boom, there you go, you got them right back there. But yeah, where Leo's strength is, are his sword-based abilities there. Flashblade is pretty much his version of Post Sword. For 8 MP, great damage on one enemy there, pretty simple enough there. And then it'll fade away once you learn Soul Blade there. That attack is wonderful because it deals a crap ton of damage, but also heals Leo's HP by, I think, 10% of the damage it does, somewhere in that ballpark there. So that's really useful there. And he also has his own buffing spell, Soul Prayer, raises both attack and defense by a modest amount. So pretty much first turn boss fights, you want to use that all the time there. And then, yeah, real quick, our side characters here, Lucio being the main one, of course. She is uncontrollable throughout the game. The AI will just control her for you. When you first get her, she is immensely powerful. She'll wipe out enemies in the Blue Spire with absolute ease there. And then throughout the game, well, she has her powers drained by Zophar, and then eventually, once you heal her, her HP will gradually increase as yours does. And she'll always have, I think, 5 HP less than Lamina, I'm pretty sure. But she's still useful. Yeah, the AI generally knows what to do with her. Early on, though, she will run away a lot. But if she's attacked in battle, she'll counterattack with Napalm Shot for some good damage there. Which can also be useful in boss fights, too. What I've done before is I'll actually have her be in the front row, if you can call it a row. But you have her be up front, and enemies will always attack her. And it's her counter with Napalm Strike there. And in bosses, that's good for the little chip damage there, so that helps there anyway. Yeah, some of her spells, yeah, later on they do get really, really powerful. Some of the ones are really, really unique and also hard to even get, or even to see. There's Atomic Burn. There's actually 2 versions of that spell. The main one is just a single target spell there. The other one is kind of your own self area of effect. It'll damage enemies that are around Lucia in a really, really big range. I've only seen the spell a couple of times, actually, but it is really damn powerful if you can get it. Yeah, she also has Heal Litany she'll learn later on. And then also there's a Blue Star Prayer, which I have personally never seen used before. I don't know how you have to trigger it to use it. Maybe like in the last battle against Zophar when you just have Lucia and Hero there. But yeah, I personally have never seen it myself, which is amazing because I've seen everything this game has to offer and then some. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's generally pretty darn good. Like I said, the AI knows what to do with her for the most part there. Moving on, next character being Gwynn. He's only around for a little while, but he's useful all the same. Yeah, he'll keep Hero's ass alive throughout the Blue Labyrinth and Blue Spire there. Only has a handful of spells. You get some Heal Litany and Calm Litany to start. And later on, he'll learn Fractured Sword and Shattered Armor there. Both of those, well, are debuffs. So you lower attack and defense there. I hear people outside. Go away. Anyway, yeah, those are useful for the Guardian there because he has his own buffing spell there to raise his attack and defense. So, of course, have Gwynn use Shattered Sword first, then Fractured Armor to make things a lot easier there. And then have him just sit around and do nothing and heal if Hero needs it. But besides that, yeah. Yeah, he's only around for a real little while, but he's good. His stats kind of suck. Only has 1 attack multiplier, and yeah, he'll sit in the back row and just heal and do whatever. And then our last little character being Ruby, the Red Dragon. Early on, she doesn't really do that much. Well, she does and she doesn't. At the end of each round, she'll attack an enemy for very minor damage. Early on, it's actually kind of good because she can one-shot the Dung Beetles in the first part of the game, so that's useful. But yeah, unfortunately, she's unlike Null in Lunar 1, whereas he would revive you after battle, or at least... Yeah, I know he did in Silver Star Story Complete and also Silver Star Harmony on the PSP, but I don't think he did in the Game Boy Advance version of Lunar Legend. I don't recall, though. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played that. But yeah, there's a whole fancy formula for Ruby's damage too, I'm pretty sure. There's also formulas for the healing spells too. I know it's in the official strategy guide there. And also, yeah, once Ruby achieves her mature form, she'll do more damage with her attacks. Not much more, like 40 to 50-ish, so... Yeah, it's for that at the end of each round, it's not bad. It's better than nothing, really. Although I don't think she attacks in boss fights, though. So, yeah, there's that. And that should be about it there. Yeah, all the characters there. And one thing I'll mention too, I mean, yeah, with this game being my all-time favorite, I've already LP'd it twice on my old channel there. And I'm kind of tempted to LP it again for the new one. I'm not going to lie. To me, the game is just... To me, it's perfect. I know it's really no such thing as a perfect game. And I mean, but in my mind, it's just the epitome of what an RPG should be. And yeah, for me to LP it twice already, and to want to do it a third time because it's that damn good, I think says a lot about how good the game really is there. If I do LP it again, it wouldn't be for quite a while yet, though, so there's that. Okay, guys, so that takes care of that. Next episode of Gaming Breakdown I already have in mind will be on the Gen 3 Pokemon starters, so there's that. And with that, guys, this has been Mr. Movies 87 signing off. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.